Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. So we've got an account takeover today of Dragor. Dragor is a relatively low spend player. Not free to play, but low spend. He has been playing for, he's on this kind of 140 day grind. So I've been playing for a while, 140 days. I guess that must be exactly right. I'm not sure actually. His Great Hall is... it's looking a bit ropey. He's basically said today, spend the medals that he's got to get the best kind of bang for his buck. We'll see what champions he's using or what champions we're going to use, and then we'll kind of allocate some of these medals. But don't sit on medals, guys. It is the worst thing you can do. Just get upgrading your stuff. So we'll get that done today. But that's in need of some work. The idea of today is to improve the clan boss situation. So far we can free key brutal. So we're doing about 7 to 8 million a key. Anything coming in good here? Not really. So we're getting the free key. The clan's not progressed too much further than that, but it is open on Nightmare, so we could have a look at Nightmare as well. And he's 1 key in hard. So the focus is, can we improve that kind of brutal and start to think about Nightmare? And the second area is kind of just general dungeon progression. We are firmly in the mid game here. Level 14 on farm, on ice golem. Level 13 on spider. I think we're a bit further on dragon. Level 18, yeah. And then fire knights we are on 14 as well. So basically it's a mid game account, 140 days in, and we're looking to get some general progression on the account. So we just had a few new champs came in recently, so we've got a few here that just need, or quite a few actually, that don't have masteries done. So you see this, masteries is a massive part of getting your damage done, guys. If you don't get your masteries up for your teams, then you're just not going to do the level of damage that you want on places like Clan Boss. So you can see here we've got kind of a handful of 60s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're probably at like the minimum number of 60s for a takeover, really. There's one more in the vault here. Let's have her out of there. And progressing from mid-game into end-game, actually is a big part of that is expanding your roster. So, moving a few more of these champions up to 60 would massively help this team. We've recently picked up a new champ here from the Double Voids. So we've got a Blind Seer, but she's not going to be making a massive difference for us today. And I have been told if I want to use some gems for masteries, go ahead and do that if it's going to make an impact today. So thinking about Clan Boss, we do have a counter attacker, so that's going to help us. We've got a counter attacker, we've got a great poisoner that goes well with counter attack. We have got decrease attack and defense here. Probably our best in terms of a 60. We do have a Razin on the way up. He's probably not quite ready yet to be used in Clan Boss. We might be able to use him. He's level 49. Yeah, so I think it's going to be 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 here, maybe 5 here. But I'll play around with that, see what sort of additional stuff we can do to make this work. And then we'll get into some dungeons as well. So I'll check in with you soon. So we're going to start just by looking at some of the builds for the champs that we're using for Clan Boss right now. So if we have a look at the Clan Boss team that we are running before I get involved. It's an interesting one. What does this guy bring for Clan Boss? Anything? Lock debuffs, I guess? Maybe? I guess he's a 60, that's probably why he's in there, but for me, he doesn't really bring anything. We don't have a decrease attack champion in this lineup, which will hinder our potential. We've got a lot of poison here, probably too much poison. So for me, I would probably do this and probably do this. This is probably how we'll run our Clan Boss team, but let's just have a look at what those champions are geared like. So Smash Lord was in, very slow, even for brutal. Accuracy's good, but I don't know that he needs it. I guess he needs it for that stun, but not for Clan Boss. Build is okay, not really for Clan Boss. So he's not really he's not a clan boss champion, so let's forget him for a second. Michelle then does bring leech, so we don't necessarily need to have big lifesteal gear on everyone, which is cool. So, and we've got this book down, that's nice. He also brings then that speed for us and crit damage, which is quite cool. Lots of speed here, that's good. This build looks pretty solid. Defense is a bit low. We probably need defense here. We probably need defense here. We definitely need accuracy. If we're relying on leech, we need accuracy. So this landing here is imperative to this team if everyone's set up like this. Skull Crusher then. I would still run lifesteal gear on a Skull Crusher because he's so important to keep alive. What we got here? Good defense, shockingly bad speed. Speed is shockingly low, which is the main stat that we need. I mean, that's really bad. We need to fix that. Stagnite, again, look at this speed. Guys, absolutely try and push your guys up to like 170 speed minimum. You know, running defense here on boots is pointless if you haven't got enough speed to make it work. So needs more speed, and then we can work on some other stats. Banshee, again, a bit slow, not as bad. Defense is good. Accuracy is okay for brutal, so this is not too bad. Probably needs just a bit more speed, but not too bad. The Kale then, pretty good. Bit low accuracy, so needs a bit of work. This build's not really done. Actually, she's not ascended. And this build's not done. Okay, so we've got a bit of work to do here. But the main thing is fix this Skull Crusher, fix this Stagnite, and I think we'll just smash the damage just by doing those two things. Let's get into it. Right then, we have been re-gearing champions. I've done tons here. I've done loads of re-gearing. So Micheled, whatever his name is, I have pulled out the crazy damage build that we had, and it was a good damage build, and I've moved it into a more sustainable build. Higher defense, good speed, and we've got some accuracy in the build now. So there was no accuracy in this build before. Good HP levels as well. We went for defense on the gloves, HP on the chest, and speed on the boots. And then we don't have enough artifacts here, so we've had to go HP on the banner with some speed. But that's okay, accuracy's fine for where we are. Defense. These two could be rolled up more. 4-piece artifact set in accuracy. So if we had an accuracy banner, then this would change. But for now, we have to work with the artifacts that we've got. So we've gone for 4-piece accuracy. Think about it like this, guys. Accuracy first, then speed, then defensive stats, then build your damage. That's your 4 orders. If you do not have enough accuracy to land your debuffs, that champion may as well be just a Kale. Yeah, it's Kale in a different skin. Accuracy, then speed, then defensive stats, then your damage. That's the order you need to do it, especially for clan boss. So we have built up good speed here, great defense, good HP. This is a good build. Good crit rate as well. All in lifesteal set. Really like this build. Because we got good crit rate, we have gone for crit damage on the amulet. That's generally the rule of thumb for me. We've gone for a Stagnite now, who has got great speed, great accuracy, good defense. Yeah, so we went 4-piece accuracy set again. We did get an accuracy banner here. We've got defense and defense. So everything about staying alive but running fast. We've got the Frozen Banshee now. Didn't change this build too much actually. Got a bit more defense into the build. We kept the accuracy nice. Got good speed still, so all of that works well. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we've got Rearguard coming in as the 5th. Not ascended yet. I would like her to be ascended to do the job properly, but good defense, good speed, good accuracy. She's going to be our backup decrease attack champion because of this skill here. Because Stagnite could let us down. He's not fully booked. This could not land. If it doesn't land, then the run ends early. Decrease attack, most important debuff, followed by your poisons, followed by your decreased defense, followed by your weaken when you get to brutal and higher, yeah? I have put masteries on these guys as I was asked to do. So I was asked, put masteries on the ones that you're going to be running. We haven't got them all ascended. We haven't got them all booked. So this is, you know, properly like a mid-game account, yeah? Brutal. Let's do brutal first. So this changes now here. He comes in. you kind of want to have who's going to be our lead? Who's going to be our lead? Might end up being Mashald. What's Rearguard got as a lead? Where is she? Force, ally HP in all battles. We don't have many force in the team, but I tell you what, it's not a bad one. She'll get some extra HP. So will Skull Crusher. Also, she can take the hits better than most, so I think that's not a bad setup. We've got Leech here, Poison here. We've got decreased defense and attack here. Backup decreased attack here. She also brings ally protection. This is really important to book this out. So we don't have the books right now. She's got decreased defense as well. We don't have the books right now, but Skull Crusher runs on a 2-turn ally protection here. 3-turn ally protection. When we move up to Nightmare, you can get your Rearguard to have a 3-turn ally protection as well. What you do is you speed tune them so that Skull Crusher takes the first AoE hit, protecting the team. Then Rearguard takes it off of Skull Crusher, and she becomes the person who protects your team for the second hit. Really, really important. It will keep your team alive for a ton of time longer. So this is the setup then. This is a brutal stage. We're still going fast. We're not going for complete speed tuning. If we went to Nightmare though, we would want those champs to be booked. Booking is important at this sort of stage when you get to Nightmare, and we would want them to be doing the booked, and we would want to speed tune them. Yeah. So at the moment we're going fast because of the setup we've got. I feel like we should. So we were doing about 8 million before. I'd be surprised if we don't push above 10 million. I'd be surprised if we don't do a 2T on Brutal. But let's see. I'm going to run it through. I'll show you the results soon. Main thing I'm concerned about is keeping that decreased attack on for enough time. Anyway, I'm going to let it run through and I'll show you the results in a sec. Right, so we are 21 turns in. 21 turns. This is where the point where the clan boss starts hitting really hard. Leech has sustained the whole team, which is brilliant. So we've been able to sustain through the healing we need through Leech, which is fantastic. You know, it absolutely helps us along the way. The first person to drop is going to be the leader. She took a stun and she wasn't able to get the healing off in time. We don't have anyone here that's cleansing stuns, which is a little bit of a letdown for us. Decreased attack has actually stayed on throughout the whole fight, pretty much. So that's quite nice. 13 million and counting. So we're almost at the point where we're doubling damage from where we were before. We're actually just lost decreased attack there, and that's caused us to lose our what's his face? Stagman, the stag fella. So this is going to be a 14 million run, basically doubled the damage. And yeah, really solid hit. So I'm really pleased with that. So that's easy 2-key brutal now. I just wonder if, so what do we need here? 40 million. We're not going to be 40 in Nightmare with that setup. But once everybody is ascended, then I think it's possible to get yourself a 4-key Nightmare with that team. That's nice. Clan boss is done. One thing I would say is, you know, more time needed in faction crypts to get more glyphs and that type of stuff. We've not got like the worst selection, but it's also not that great for kind of re-gearing champs like this. What we're going to do now is focus on the dungeon teams. So I've already done a re-gear on Xavier. I put Xavier to have much better accuracy. She was at like 70 odd accuracy, just not enough to do what she does. I put her HP levels up. I put her speed up. We've already built some of the guys from Clan Boss. We're going to reuse them. So I think we're just going to jump straight in and see if we can start to progress some of these dungeons. I think the most important ones are Dragon and Spider. So let's start and see if we can just get ourselves through Dragon. Got to be careful with affinities here. Again, I guess we've got an accuracy in all battles aura. I didn't realize she had that, actually. That's very cool. Smash Lord is just not right for these sort of dungeons. This is okay. We don't really need him in here. I think we still run Xavier. We definitely run Stagnite. Stagnite's going to be in pretty much every team now. Insanely good champion. Skull Crusher's built pretty well. Got speed here. Did I do that already? I'm going to try this. See how we do first. If it's what I tend to do is I tend to start with a more aggressive team, and if the aggressive team is not working, I pull it back and go more defensive. So here we go. We should start to get through these waves fairly well. Looks like they're targeting Mashaled, which is interesting. Guess that must be affinity related, is it? No, it's not affinity. I don't know, maybe that's just his HP level or something. Oh no, we are going for Xavier. Okay, I don't know why he went for him first off. It might have been buffs or something. But we've got no healing until the leech comes up, like now. So now we need Xavier to get some damage out, get some healing back. She didn't really do that. She might drop. It's close. It's close. She's getting very little healing off here. We're going to get through the wave. We're going to struggle maybe on the next wave. But that's wave 1 done. And it's possible that you need, things like, you might need a shield set for this team, for example, just to make sure you get through the waves. You might need somebody who's going to give us a bit more crowd control. True Fears are nice. True Fears are a nice way of crowd control. Yeah, we've lost a Xavier. But I think we still get through the wave. As long as we've got our poisoners into the final phase of the fight, which is Kale and Frozen Banshee, then I'm relatively happy. And it looks like we're going to do that here. Yeah, so this feels pretty good. I'm going to fast forward it on to the sort of final part of the dragon fight. It's not going to be the quickest dragon in the world. We'll fast forward it on and then we'll see how we do. Yep, so we've come through it relatively simply. Even without the Xavier damage in there, we're coming in around 3 minutes. So just takes a bit of gearing, guys. 3 minutes, first time we've cleared stage 19 at first attempt. Let's see if we can go straight and do 20 as well. 20, I need to be aware that we've got 2 negative affinities, but it gives Xavier a bit of freedom. And these guys, because they're both built for Clan Boss, we've got a decent amount of defense there and there. So they both should be able to take the hits, 4,500. So they're probably going to be focusing on the Stagnite here, because it's got the lower HP. So, I mean, what would be ideal is if we had an Apothecary built up, ready to go. I think the Apothecary here is 50. Not even a 50, so it's down here. Apothecary or Cathalia, someone who was in this team that could actually heal as well would be ideal. We don't really have anything like that. I mean, maybe this is better. Maybe that's better in terms of setup. Just for a bit more protection, maybe we do this. She also brings a bit of healing. But Kale brings poisons, which Xavier blows up. It's kind of like, where do you want to go with it? But so we just got a bit healing going on, bit ally protection. So she's going to take the dwarf girl's going to take the damage. I don't know what her name is. Rearguard Sergeant's going to take the damage from the ally protection. It feels like we're getting through the wave fairly quick with the damage that's going out there. Mashard does decent amount. In the previous build, Mashard probably would have done it easier in terms of damage, but definitely wouldn't have had the survivability. So again, we're going to flick through, see if I can take it right through to the end, and show you how we get on. So Dragon 20 at first attempt, guys. 3 minutes 30. We'll take it. We'll take it. Nobody died. Relatively clean run. So that is Dragon 20 on farm. Really pleased with that for first effort. Terrible first item though. But yeah, I thought it'd be trickier actually. So really pleased with that. Let's move on then to the next most important dungeon, which is going to be Spider. Obviously, to get to 20 here is going to be pretty much insane, but let's see how far we can push it. Okay, so we've one shot 14. We're just going to keep progressing through, see if we can just keep this going until we get to maybe 15, 16, and then I'll show you the type of team comps that we have to pull together at that stage. So one of the cool things about doing these takeovers is sometimes you come up against or across champions that you've never really used before and that you don't really know where they fit. And this is one of those champions for me. So I've seen Smash Lord in the arena a lot. I've never really known what else he's kind of good for, but just looking at his kit here, he has got this move here removes all debuffs from all allies, then heals this champion by 15% of this guy's max HP, heals additionally for any debuffs removed. So actually turns out he's very cool for keeping your tanks alive in Spider. We don't have a quick team here, this is going to be a slow team, but what we should find is that Dwarf Girl Rearguard becomes the tank, and basically I'm relying on Smash Lord to be able to keep her alive for as long as possible. So we can do this move here, which just does a ton of damage, AoE damage. He heals it back up as well. We can get the decreased attack, hopefully across the board, from Little Miss Dwarf. And then we're just relying on everyone else to kind of slowly chunk down the Spider. Xavier's not good here because she starts taking the hits too early. So Xavier's come out of the team for this, and we've replaced it with Smash Lord, and actually just really impressed with him. So it's interesting when you've got a load of champions that are in a tier list that you perhaps don't use all the time. You just kind of throw them in the tier list because that's kind of what the meta says they are or how strong they are. And it's interesting when you actually get to use one, you're like, hold on a minute, this guy is pretty decent. He's just decent in a certain way and in certain places of the game. So yeah, I'm going to carry on doing this. I just thought I'd throw in, look, this is the move here. I'm going to cleanse all of that poison off, put block debuffs up now so she's not going to take as much damage. And it just gives me a lot more time for my damage dealers to actually do their job. She also replenishes like decreased attack, decreased defense. So she's really good for Spider. He's really good for Spider. All the while, we're getting some chunks of damage done. Yeah, so fun. Always fun to find these new champs that I've not really used that actually have got a decent use in the game. So guys, what have we done? We've managed to push Spider 18 onto full auto with the unlikely inclusion of Smash Lord as an absolute MVP in this team. I love it. Frozen Banshee in there, already had it built for Clan Bosses along with Michaud and Stag Knight. Xavier came into the mix. We know she's a beast on Spider. We know that she can nuke that Spider down. Exactly what she's doing here. So we've gone from stage 13 auto to 18 auto on Spider. We've gone from stage 16 auto to 20 auto on Dragon. And we've doubled Clan Boss damage. Job done. I'll catch you all in a video soon.